Hey, hey, hey. To God be the glory. We ride with Lord.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hey folks, I just want to say I am extraordinarily grateful for all of you being here. I look at many of these folks. I know you've worked tirelessly since petition opened up, and I just want to thank you for all the hard work, all the commitment. Today marks the close of one chapter. As you can see, we're well prepared, but it begins the next. The next is the sprint to February 28th. We got a lot of hard work to do. We got to make sure that we're leaving literally no stone unturned. Every neighborhood, every block, we've got to get our message out about how we have delivered for the residents of the city, but we've also got to make sure that we tell them about what's to come for 4 more years. 4 more years!
All right, Mayor.
Let's go and do it.
Okay, we're going to go with Mike. And we're going to station 4. Morning, Mayor. How's it going? Whenever you're ready. All right. Perfect. Man of the hour. All right, you're heading to 4. Let's go right this way. Oh, 2 first.
Good morning. I'm good. Is this the manner in which you would like to file your petition? Well, I guess I'll be on there again tonight. Y'all have to take it. Hold on. I said, hold on, let me get everything.
Mayor, how many signatures did you bring in?
We'll be talking about that in a minute. Looks like enough to me, though.
60617?
No, 47.
47. We have a statement of economic interest. Statement of candidacy. Are the nomination petitions bound?
You need anything else right here?
No, ma'am.
Careful, sir.
I need the last page on the petition. Can we hold it up on the phone? Yeah. 2844.
Yeah.
Okay, you can turn it back over to me. She'd like to include an email address for us?
Mike, do you want to put your email?
Yeah. M-D-O-R-F. LAW.com.
Telephone number?
773 213
7260.
Okay, do you want to include the campaign email and telephone number to go on our website?
Do you want to put your email and telephone down for the website? Yeah, I don't.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, we could put it here. She was asking.
I don't know. I don't know.
Today's the 28th.
No, not at all. Anybody need in?
Right.
Fucking out.
Should I say it?
Okay, let me take my pictures. You want to hold this?
All right, that's what we want a picture of.
That's a money shot.
There you go. Yeah, of course. Mike, play. Get in there. Get in here, Mike. That is an impressive stack.
Yes, okay. Okay, that's all. To the next page. And I need a copy of the last page.
Copy of the last page.
Yep.
Good?
Yes, ma'am. I just need a signature and a date there.
Yep.
This for you. And this is your filing receipt. Good luck.
All right. You want to turn around so all those cams can get you?
Can I see it through? I don't know how we're going to do the last.
So I just filed my nominating petitions over 40,000 to be on the ballot. First and foremost, I want to thank, again, all the volunteers who've been working tirelessly since the petition circulation period opened up back in August, which seems like a lifetime ago. They've literally scoured every corner of the city to make sure that we had a sufficient number of valid signatures to be on the ballot. So with the filing today, one chapter in the campaign ends and another opens. And the next thing, obviously, that we're focused on is continuing our effort to reach voters all across the city to remind them not only what we've done over the last 3.5 years, but what our vision is for the next 4, and why the only rational choice is to return me to office. I leave nothing for granted. I know it's going to be a lot of hard work, as it has been literally every day since I got sworn in. And we're going to keep fighting. That's right. There are a couple people that I want to thank. First of all, I want to thank my friends in organized labor, and particularly the plumbers, the carpenters, and others who have been extraordinarily helpful and supportive. I want to thank the members of my finance committee, several who are here with us today. I want to thank a couple of volunteers, Nia Blessing in particular. I want to thank. This young woman has worked unbelievably hard, probably got more petition signatures. Where's Nia? Probably got more petition signatures than anybody else on our team. Just absolutely relentlessly cheery, did a great job. I just want to thank you personally so much. And I want to thank Ms. Dosha Williams. This is somebody who came to us, who didn't know us at all, walked into an event just to kind of find out more about who I was and what kind of campaign we were running, and it's been with us ever since. Thank you so much. So this team of folks assembled behind me is representative of a large group of people all across the city who understand what's at stake. And what's on the ballot is, do we return to the status quo that left huge swaths of our city, of our residents, out of the equation, out of the future of Chicago, or do we keep forging ahead on the path that we've been on? And the path that we've been on, folks, unapologetically, is about equity. It's about inclusion. It's about making sure that no part of our city is forgotten, that every part gets resources and gets dealt in to the prosperity of our city. Nothing that we've been able to do over the last 3.5 years, whether it's have the most equitable COVID vaccine program in the nation, that others have come to us and said, how'd you do it? If it's about mental health, and increasing the amount of funding 7-fold so that we're serving now 60,000 people instead of 2,500. It's about making sure that we're reducing the number of homicides and shootings and making remarkable progress in our fight to make sure that Chicago becomes the safest big city in the nation. Or if it's about making sure that we're protecting workers and workers' rights and making sure that organized labor, this town that was built on organized labor, continues to be a shining example of what workers' rights means and all the policies that we do. There's so many other things that we have done that we will be reminding the voters about and what the path ahead looks like. I'm extremely grateful, of course, to my lovely wife, without whose support and and I'm grateful for all the people who've just reached out their hand to say, Mayor, how can I help? What can I do? You deserve 4 more years. Let me tell me what I can do to help you. For all those people that have reached out to us in the last days, in the last months, I thank you, and the work begins anew today. Thank you very much.
All right, first question, Craig Wall, go ahead.
Mayor, you're filing on the last day, but there's the supposed advantage of waiting till after 4 o'clock to file. Why are you filing today, and why not, if you're filing today, wait till the end to get into the lottery for the last 5?
It's not about the last lot. I mean, the positioning on the ballot is if you are an unknown and people don't know you, they know who I am. And our voters are going to find us. So we wanted to get this done this morning, get our folks geared up and ready for the next leg of the journey. And I've actually got a city to run as well, so getting back to the business of the people.
Mayor, can you imagine that you might challenge one of the other candidates' petitions?
Well, look, we have obviously polled all the candidates' positions who have filed. We'll poll the folks that have filed today and take a look at them. And if we believe that there's a legitimate basis, then we'll make decisions at that point. But we haven't made any decisions yet. We've got another week before we have to decide who, if at all, that we're going to challenge.
Mayor, with so many challengers, do you look at this as an uphill fight?
No, I don't look at it as an uphill fight from the perspective of who's in the race. This is a tough environment for incumbents, and I'm very clear-eyed about that. People are still recovering from the horrible trauma that they experienced coming out of COVID and all the cascading effects. Everything about our lives was completely upended during the period of COVID, and people are still recovering from that. So what we've got to do is pierce through that level of frustration and anger and to some extent fear that people have, and remind them about what we've been able to accomplish together on behalf of the people of this city.
Mayor, you did say about 2 weeks ago, wait till you see my wagon and wheelbarrow. It wasn't necessarily a wheelbarrow. It was decent. But
I think I corrected myself and said a hand truck, so we did have a hand truck.
Mayor, do you have any concerns? 4 years ago when you ran, of course, there was no incumbent in the race, but you were polling very low at the last minute. And are you concerned that there could be somebody who's starting out low and who could pull a surprise and get into the runoff?
Well, look, what I'm focused on is making sure that I break through, because I think when people hear what we have done, that they are overwhelmed and surprised because they're not hearing it, frankly, from the media. But what I'm focused on is making sure that we leave no stone unturned, that we go to every corner of the city and bring the message forward about what we've done. How we've delivered on behalf of the people. And you heard me talk earlier about a long list, and I could go on and on. I could talk about what we've done in the environment. I could talk about what we've done on affordable housing, what we've done on homelessness, what we've done on economic development all over our city. The list is long. There's a reason why businesses are coming to Chicago. There's a reason why companies that could literally choose anywhere in the globe to go are coming here to Chicago. They see what I see, which is a dynamic city on the rise, coming out of the pandemic, and a government who's there to be their partner and make sure that they're able to survive and thrive in our great city.
Right.
Mayor, what would you tell 2019 candidate Lori Lightfoot about this job that you didn't expect would be a challenge for you?
Beware of a global pandemic.
That's an obvious question. That's an obvious answer.
No, but I mean, that has defined, I think, the early stages of my term. I got sworn in late May in 2019. We had a little bit of a honeymoon over the summer, and then we had a teacher strike, and then we had a global pandemic, and all the cascading things that have happened since then. But despite that, we have delivered for the residents of the city. People need to I need to make sure that people remember what we went through and how much better we fared here in Chicago than any other city across the country. And people do remember that. People come up to me all the time and say, thank you, Mayor, thank you for what you did to help keep us safe during the pandemic. That it will be a big theme. That's a record of delivery that no one else has in this race. You've got people who've been elected officials for a really long time. You've got people who've literally been in office for decades. But what is the record of accomplishment and delivery? What can they point to and say to the voters, if you vote for me, you'll get X? No one can talk about the kind of things that we can, and I'm excited about continuing to make that case to the voters of the city.
Where do you think your strongest support in the city is, and your weakest support areas that need more groundwork?
I think the people who recognize things like the fact that we have delivered on many of the things that we talked about during the campaign, who have appreciated the stewardship through the pandemic, who have appreciated the fact that we have put billions of dollars in black and brown areas of the city. The fact that we've kept our seniors safe through the pandemic and made sure that they weren't left behind. People appreciate that we are delivering on affordable housing and all the other things that we've done on the environment, on mental health, on making sure that our young people have great, productive, safe things to do and they're out of time, and they're out of school time. If people who are listening and paying attention to those things, there's only one choice.
Mayor, is there anything you wish you got done in your first term that you didn't, that you want to really prioritize to get the second?
Well, I think we're going to continue to build on the investments that we've already made in the city. If you look at the $1.2 billion of investments that we catalog coming out of the 2021 budget, there's still work to be done to deliver on those things. And it's the long list that I've been giving you. But no, there's a lot more work that we need to get done. We just started. When you think about the fact that it's been 3.5 years only, although sometimes it seems like a little bit longer. But if you think about the fact that it's only been 3.5 years, that we've gone through a pandemic, an economic meltdown, civic unrest, a rise in crime, and we still have delivered over and over and over again for people in the city, that's a pretty great record of accomplishment because I've got a great team around me, and we have embraced partnership with local stakeholders, whether it's our delegate agencies, whether it's people, other people in neighborhoods. We have been able to deliver because the city has come together with us and made sure that we are following the course that's been set by residents all over the city. So we've got a lot more work to be done. You can't undo decades of neglect, decades of not investing in certain neighborhoods in 3.5 years, but we have laid a foundation on which we are ready to continue building.
Heather, hold on, Heather Shrum, go ahead.
Toughest opponent.
As I said, I'm not worried about who gets in, who doesn't get in. What I'm focused on is making sure that I tell the voters why it is that they should vote for me again and trust me with delivering on the future and the promise of this great city.
You're expecting a runoff.
I am expecting to do as well as I possibly can from now until February 28th.
Right.
I don't know what the future is going to
Listen.
be. I don't know who's going to be on the ultimately on the ballot. We're going to run hard. There's our friend Melissa. But what I'm focused on is making sure that we run hard every single day between now and February 28th. Yes, ma'am.
In 2019, the centerpiece of your campaign was a promise to bring in the light and root out corruption at City Hall. What will be the centerpiece of your 2023 campaign?
Continuing the work. Continuing to work on economic development, continuing to work on making sure that we continue to stitch back together our social safety net that was devastated, frankly, years before I even decided to run, but got really stressed during the pandemic. We've got to make sure that the most vulnerable people in our city have a place in our hearts, they have a home, that they have access to health care, that we eliminate the food desert. So those are the things that we're going to continue to focus on and staying the course by making sure that we continue to deliver.
Mary, last question.
Your opponents say that you haven't done enough to keep the city safe across the city. How do you respond to that?
Well, look, it's easy to be a critic from the sidelines. We are facing the same kind of challenges that cities all across the country have faced, but we have delivered. If you look at where we are year over year from where we were a year ago, we are focused on making sure that we reduce the number of homicides. We're doing that. We're focused on making sure that we reduce the number of shootings. We're doing that. We're focused on making sure that Chicago is the safest big city in the country. That doesn't happen in a short amount of time. And I'm focused on not only making sure that in the short term we hold violent, dangerous people accountable, and you're going to continue to hear me challenge the courts to keep these folks locked up and not let them back out on the street pre-trial to wreak more havoc. But I'm also focused on bringing lasting peace once and for all to Chicago. We cannot become the safest big city in the country without doing those two things. Holding violent, dangerous people accountable right now, but building lasting peace by investing in neighborhoods and particularly investing in our young men who are drawn to the street. We need to give them an off-ramp by giving them hope, by bringing in jobs, by bringing in economic development. And we are doing that, but there's more to be done. The work isn't finished, which is why I'm running for re-election and look forward to serving this city 4 more years.
Last question.
Yes.
With one alderman running for election, challenging you, Sophia King, and possibly Rod Sawyer if he files today, do you think that'll present challenges in getting stuff done in city council?
No. I mean, look, you guys ask these questions, but look at the facts. The fact of the matter is, every time someone says, oh, the mayor isn't this and she can't build a coalition, every single major initiative that we have put forward, whether it's closing record budget deficits, whether it's getting policy work done, guess what? We've gotten it done. Yes. Because I know how to build coalitions. I know how to bring people together. Every single time there's been a challenge and you all are speculating, oh, she can't get it done because of this, that, and the other, and people don't like her personality, and blah. We deliver every single time.
Yeah.
So print that.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Thank you all.
We ran with Lori. We ain't playing. After we drop this load, then it's game time.
Where do you live?
3450.
Okay. And what brings you out today?
Oh, I didn't know about
First off, let everyone know that she's sincere about what she's saying. Okay. Last time I was with
We'll
her,
talk, because I probably go there.
so I know what she has went through. I see her growth and development and what she's doing.
Wait, are you driving?
And as a leader of the city, she was concerned about public safety and public health and economic development at the same time. When I see the budget that she just passed, and I see that there's money in there for mental health facilities to be in all 50 wards, you know what I mean? So this is letting everyone know she's not alone. The most important thing, it wasn't elected officials that got elected. It was the people and 50 wards that elected her.
Why did you not vote for her in 2019?
Because I was obligated with Tony Pretwood. You know what I'm saying? I worked with her for over 30 years. Okay. I saw President Pretwood as an individual that was an alderman and know the city. At that point, Lightfoot didn't know the city. But when she became a mayor, she learned the city. She knew the city as the people, as opposed to elected officials. Like you asked the question, or someone asked the question about the aldermen making decisions they didn't want to do. They got a right to know. I like to say. They didn't. And everybody wondering why were they so quiet when they were passing the budget. At the same time, their community was getting neglected.
Okay. Do you think that, where do you think her areas of growth? You said, she's grown.
She's grown. When I saw that commercial Believe, I saw the human part of her. That she let people. Okay. I made mistakes, I may have rubbed people the wrong way, you know what I mean? But I've learned to look, listen, and learn.
So that appealed to you, that commercial?
That's one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She appeals to me.
Yeah.
I went to Lori Lightfoot and told her, I'm with you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
When did you decide to support her?
Wow.
February 28th, the municipal election is coming up. So
I want to say
on the ballot. The lottery starts at 4 p.m. today.
Last
Expect them showing up who want to be last.
because at the time, you know, I was working campaign
Everyone who gets into
with
line by
J.B.
4
Preston,
p.m. lottery
Alexis Janulia, Jonathan Jackson. You know what I mean? A couple of judges. And I let her know, man, I'm with you. She has made a decision. She has publicly made a decision that she was going to run for re-election. And I was one of the ones of many, like she just mentioned. They called and let her know. We with you.
Can I take a picture of you?
Sure.
Thank you. If you just want to stand